If you're a business owner or an executive in charge of managing technology in your business, you may have heard of the term white glove service. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what that actually means and why it's important to you as a business owner to consider why this might be useful to help you save time and get more efficiency in onboarding your team and taking advantage of tech tools to make your scaling process simpler. My name is Pete Moriarty and we help business owners with their tech tools, and we make sure that business owners have the right technology strategy in place so they can grow and scale and build more successful teams and businesses. Today we're going to talk about white glove service and what this actually is, what it actually means. And effectively, this is a term that's come out of the vendor space and the IT world, but I'm going to deconstruct a little bit about what this actually means. Now, this has to do with the onboarding of your team and onboarding of staff members when you get them set up, and the technology tools and the technology devices that are involved when you actually go to onboard and get a new person set up inside the business. Now, a white glove service means that when you actually set up a new staff member or a new team member, that their computer is already set up for them. Think of it like a concierge service. You go to a fancy hotel and they're going to take their bag for you, they're going to put it up in the room, they're going to have your favorite champagne there, they're going to have your towels nice and warm and ready to go. That's the kind of thing or the experience that we want to create for an employee when they get started on their first day. Now, everyone knows the nightmare situation of the opposite, which is you onboard a new staff member and their email isn't ready by the time they've got to get work started, and they go to sit down at their desk and maybe the computer hasn't been fully provisioned, or it takes half a day for IT to set up the apps and the programs and all those kind of things. Not only is that lost productivity, but it's also going to give the team member a pretty poor impression of them starting with your company. And of course, the experience of that is really important because you want them to be productive, but also you want to, I would say, in my opinion, honor that employee by ensuring that when they start, they actually have all the tools in place so they don't add to their stress and anxiety of starting a new role. And so a white glove technology service means that when an employee comes in, the asset or the IT resource is all ready to rock and roll so they can start productive work. Now, they're probably not going to be jumping straight into productive work on their first day, but if they can, at a minimum, attend meetings, answer emails, and if they're working from home, connect with their team on the various communication tools that you're going to be using within the business, these are the kind of things that you want to have ready to go so they're not waiting around to try and get started with work while you're fumbling getting the technology right. There's three things that are core components of a white glove service and actually making sure that team members are ready to rock and roll. I'm going to take you through what those look like. Number one is ensuring that there's the correct IT access levels for each staff member. If they're on the accounting team, then they probably want to have access to the finance folders and the right calendars for the finance team. If they're on the customer service team, then they're going to need to have access to call scripts and anything else that they need to work with their team members there. Obviously, if they're an executive, they're going to be going through an onboarding process for executives, which is probably going to include meeting the team, but also being able to see across the organization and see all of the resources across an organization. And so ensuring that your correct access levels are set up for each team member is the foundation of that. And we have other videos, I'll link that down below, on how you can set up group-based permissions inside Google Workspace so your team can get access to the right resources. But the day that staff member starts, you have failed if they have to ask you, hey, can I have access to that document, or can I have access to the shared drive, or can I have access to that folder? We want to make sure that the day they are starting, they have the correct access to everything that they need. Secondly, white glove means shipping the device directly to the staff member. Now, in the old days where we had people working from home or working from different offices, what we would do is we would ship all the devices to a central location, and then that location would get them ready or provision them, and then we would send them out to the individual staff member, no matter what office or department they were in the organization. Nowadays, in the current global pandemic, most team members are currently working at home, or at least in geographically distributed locations. And so rather than a technology company, if you've got an external consultancy, or an IT team, if this is being handled internally, shipping that to the staff member only after it's been set up, these can actually be configured on the behalf of the vendor or by an IT consultant and then sent straight to the staff member so that you, the business owner, or your internal IT team don't need to bother with the onboarding and provisioning of the technology device. Now, you might think, well, isn't that their job? Isn't it IT's job to provision devices? Well, what we're seeing is a shift in most businesses in the mid-market and the corporate enterprise space is that many of their technology teams, and especially their technology leaders, want to spend more time on strategic tasks. And what that means is that they want to be working on the high-level projects that are going to bring more value to the organization than rolling out somebody's laptop and spinning it up and installing, whatever apps need to be installed on that machine. Now, working with a technology consultancy externally can make this process easy, because what that means is there's actually less burden on the technology team internally inside your business, and you can focus more on those higher value tasks. Having a device run up externally and then shipped directly to a staff member so they can open the lid and get to work is the best case scenario for productive workers and keeping your team focused on what they need to be. Thirdly, I'd like to talk about asset tracking and protection. Now, when you have a white glove service, you're actually managing each of the serial numbers and managing each of the asset tags of the devices. When you have a predetermined way of onboarding each of your devices, which is consistent, then those devices will all have the same amount of security protocols and the same amount of protection required for those devices. Now, I recently recorded a video, which is on our channel, all about the basic security processes that you need to have in place once your business grows to above 20 employees. I'll link to that just down below. And one of the things that is critically important is actually making sure that each device has the correct protections with passcodes and access for each person that's accessing that device. Now, if you happen to be using something like a Chromebook, then the device access is actually locked down to your Google Workspace account. And a lot of those technology policies can actually be deployed from the central Workspace admin panel, which is nice and handy. But if you don't have that set up right now, then you need to actually manage the devices individually. So all of this comes together in what we call the white glove service, which is making sure that people have the right access from day one. Devices are sent straight to a staff member so they don't have to wait around for them to be rolled up. And thirdly, they can switch it on and get started straight away with access to the right resources. And from there, your team members are able to get productive from when they get started. Now, if you're interested in configuring or exploring a white glove policy, what that might look like internally inside your business, or if you'd like support from us, then click the link below and you can jump onto an audit. Our business services thousands of businesses all over the world, helping with technology policy, everything to do with Google Workspace, and the small and medium-sized business ecosystem. If you're an organization that needs help with Google Workspace, whether you're in education, a corporate enterprise, or a small or medium-sized business, we can help move you in the right direction. If you'd like to chat to our team, jump on the link down below. And if you're a small business owner with less than 20 employees, well, you might be interested in checking out some of our other videos. We've got plenty of resources available for you, and I look forward to catching you in the next video. Just a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel or dropped a like on this video, please go ahead and do that. If there's something that you'd like to know, drop a comment down below in the comments and we'll do our best to answer.